Hello everybody and welcome back to Stellaris, where we are continuing to build tall here, and we currently have the CAR Sahara that's not doing anything right now. Unfortunately, there's not really anything for it to do right now. Oh, we'll gain some unity here. Now, we can do things with this unity, to be clear. At this point, we don't need to spend that unity on any traditions, so what we can do is we can start spending it on planetary Ascension tiers. Now, the planet automation on Earth is a capital, or rather, it's auto-designated on the capital here. This should really be designated as a scientific capital, but I don't think that's an option. No, it isn't. Okay, so it probably doesn't matter for our capital. So what are we interested in getting? Well, for now, let's hold off on that, and let's tick forward and see what our final economic state is going to look like once we get this extra fleet that we queued up at the end of last episode that we really probably shouldn't have. So we'll see what our economy looks like, and we'll determine from there where we want to put our Ascension points. So that'll be fine. We do have most of our corvettes done at this point. We're working on some battleships here, some cruisers here, yeah. So the mega shipyard is done now. We're at 1942 on our naval cap. That looks fine. We can produce an entire fleet rather quickly at this point, so that's good to know. It'll take a little bit for these battleships to get done, and then there's some cruisers behind that, so that'll all build simultaneously. We did finish up the locus of our interstellar assembly, and we should probably continue to work on upgrading that. That is going to further boost our diplomatic weight, but this is the only thing in our megastructures that we need to be boosting, so we might as well get some diplomatic weight out of it. Why not? Patron of the arts for monthly unity? Yes, please. That looks good. So that is fantastic at this point, and I'm keeping an eye on our economic situation, which is currently 693 energy credits. That's not so bad. That's not so bad at all, but we are about to finish up these battleships. So, we'll see where our economy is sitting at. For now, we're just banking up unity, and we're going to spend this unity. 100% that's going to happen. I want to check in on our astral actions. We can gain physics insight and astral boost, so we will definitely do that. Okay, those battleships have finished. All we need now is these corvettes and these cruisers. So we're at 386. We've cut our energy credit surplus in half. We finished up the gateway construction there, so that sounds great. And that will, of course, significantly help our trade routes, which are all maxed at this moment. So that's fantastic. Really, really good. We've got gateways down here. We've got a gateway here. We've got a gateway here, which we did need. And then there's this area down here where we don't currently have gateways, but we do in Leloria. We don't really need gateways down here, arguably. I'm just thinking about whether we actually want to put any here or not. Where does this wormhole go again? Azalash. That's interesting.
Construction project
but
concluded.
Not all that useful, I think. So for the moment, that's fine. I was thinking about maybe putting one over in Azalash, a gateway, but then I was like, what exactly would be the purpose of that? We've got a gateway in Sol already. So that would just be essentially through this wormhole in Alpha Centauri. I don't think that's all that useful, to be honest. What is this military station over in Robelius that we apparently have? We have an early space station here. We should probably disband that. It's not necessary. We've got our regular station, so that'll be fine. Excellent. So these cruisers are finished now, and we just had a month tick, so this is our economic situation. That's really not bad, considering our naval cap situation. Yeah, I'm not too concerned about that. So if that's the case, then we should probably be angling... Let's see here. What do we actually get here? Researcher output plus 5% on tech worlds. Okay. I would like to resettle this person over to Azalash. That'll be a good thing. We do want to get Azalash to be considerably more populated. Where is Azalash in here? It's in here somewhere, I'm sure. It's a little hard to move this around correctly, but that's reasonably fine. Yeah, it's very hard to move this around correctly because of this offset here. This is due to the UI scaling, which is fine. Okay, I know that Azalash is right here. Perfect. So we're going to move you right on over. That'll be fine. So at this point, we need to figure out what type of world we want to spend our Unity on upgrading Ascension tiers. So it'll reduce its effect on Empire size by 6%, and increase the effect of its planetary designation by 31%. So it's mostly the planetary designation that we're interested in here. So this would give us minus 20% upkeep, 5% output on Forge Worlds. On Factory Worlds, it's probably the same, yes. Tech World is fundamentally the same as well. What about Mining Worlds? 35% output. That's significantly higher. What about a Generator World? So we'll set this as a Generator World as well. That is 35%. So Generator Worlds and Mining Worlds appear to be significantly better on that front. What about Refinery Worlds? Those are 20% across the board. Okay, so the priority list... Well, actually, I want to check in on Fortress Worlds. Low priority. Noted. So the priority list would be something like generator and mining stations, then refinery stations. What about unification? 10%? Okay. Then unification stations. Trade stations, this really isn't a trade station. It's 20%. We're not really using trade stations. It's actually going to be a generator station. So, back to what I was saying. Top priority is mining and generator. Second priority would be, at this point, the, what was it? Refinery. Third priority would be kind of everything else. So research, foundry, and factory would be the idea. So tech worlds, factories, and research. Well, I said research twice there. I think we understand what's going on here. At least I understand what's going on here. And that's the important part. We do need to get an energy nexus here. We'll also eventually need to have a holo theater here, and we should probably put one in. That'll be okay. So, what do we want to go for? Well, we want to go through and find places like this. A planetary ascension tier would be good here. Now, we decided not to go the route of being able to expand our worlds this way. We're going to build planetary rings around them, so that'll be fine. We'll designate this as an Ascension Tier 1. That's going to cost 14,112. Yes, so that is now Ascension Tier 1. If we wanted to take that to Ascension Tier 2, it looks like that is just a linear upgrade. And it costs twice as much, presumably every time. So the cost is exponential, and the gains are linear. So we probably want to go through and make everything a Tier 1 Ascension before we do any other upgrades. In that case, do we want to just go down the list and just make everything Ascension Tier 1, and then Ascension Tier 2, and then Ascension Tier 3, and then Ascension Tier 4? We could certainly do that. We certainly could. This one is going to cost 22,579.2 Unity to upgrade, rather than the 14,000 that this costed. Is that due to the number of pops? No, it's not. It's due to the number of ascensions that we've done. Isn't it? I bet it is. That's a global thing, not a local thing. Okay, that's going to make things a bit more complicated. And we can do Ascension tiers on stations, correct? Okay, the next Ascension I want to do is on Azalash. So, we now know that for a fact. We'll upgrade this. And now we don't have enough Unity to upgrade another one. That's okay. I wonder if that cost caps, because if not, that cost is going to become insane. Well, for now, we'll continue to tick forward. That seems okay. So the Sahara is up over here just chilling, right? We just finished the Zentaris Black Hole Station. That's fine. No concerns there. But yeah, we're going to definitely want to do that. I've never really done too much with the Ascension tiers before. I've never really found it super necessary, but if we're going to be building tall, we want to pursue those routes, right? These are all repeatable, so I'm just going to enable auto research, and we'll start with energy weapon damage here. This is engineering. What? What research was it giving us? Was it giving us... Wild. It was giving us physics research. I'm quite certain I clicked down here, but it must have been because we finished this one. Okay, so we're going to go for energy weapon damage here. That'll be done very shortly. We don't want this to be auto-researched yet. We'll get there. We're very, very close, but we're not quite there yet. So next up, we should probably just finish up flak artillery. Let's get that out of the way. That looks fine. Okay, looks good. So how are we doing on minor artifacts? 1.4K? Sure, we can definitely reinforce these fleets a fair amount on that, but we're going to continue to bank that. We just finished a habitat complex, so we want to head over to the Ganges, and we of course want to do a couple things here. We want to colonize this with our founder species, and then we want to build all of the orbitals. So we'll build a minor orbital here, we'll build a major orbital here, we'll build a major orbital over our star here, and then just a major orbital down over here. That's not a particularly large set of habitats, but sure, that'll be fine. So the Sahara is just waiting on influence up here. Xenomorph Army has finished, and capacity boosters is probably what we're looking for next. Yeah, 32 months on that. That'll take a little while, but that's okay. So we're about to get energy weapon damage, and what's going to be going in next?
Research concluded.
Gravitational analysis too? Sure. That seems fine. So we're very close at this point to just automating our research and not really caring too much about any of that. Let's check through our jobs here. I can see right now that this generator station needs a little bit of work, and certainly it does, but we have 2 available jobs here. They are clerk jobs. Why do we have 2 habitation districts here? That's an interesting question. So, I mean, they do give us a building slot, but that's not super necessary here. They produce amenities, but I would kind of rather have these be devoted to industrial jobs. I'm going to replace these with reactor districts, but we're also going to build a new reactor district, and we're going to do that first. I have no idea if I actually did that correctly. I think I did. We're also going to put in a robot assembly complex here, and we also want to upgrade every single one of these. So that's going to take a little bit of time, and that will give us a bit of a surplus of jobs. Now, here on Robotics, we are lowest on energy credit output right now. So let's build a generator district there. That'll be fine. What else are we interested in up here? Well, we've got an alleged generator station here. It's kind of a generator station. We do have these 3 0G research districts. So that's certainly interesting. I think we're just going to go for a robot assembly complex there right now. Same with this mining station. That'll be fine. And anything else through here? Nope. Okay. So a lot of these stations are going to become fairly hybridized. Like, for example, this one that we just did here. It's going to require a reactor district. It's going to require an energy grid. It's going to require a mineral processing plant. We're also going to build the 3 0G research districts, but then everything else is going to go into the industrial districts. So it's going to be fairly hybridized. And that's just the way that that's going to end up working. I just want to utilize those districts where they're available. But our default for all of these stations, if we have no ability to create additional districts, then that's going to be going into industrial, or rather, no ability to create additional jobs through these 3. The default is going to be industrial districts. So that's okay. We've got an astral siphon here right now, which is fine. I do want to get this mineral purification hub going. We've got 17 available jobs here, and that's going to take a while to fill up. Noted. So that is fine. What else do we need jobs-wise right now? The answer is basically nothing, and that's okay. So we're at 133 influence. The Sahara is going to be able to do something up here pretty soon, but I do think that we should get out a single science ship here. because we have this astral rift here, and it's kind of bothering me. So let's get that completed. That'll be fine. We just finished up the habitat complex down over here. We'll colonize this with post-Carpetanians, of course. And we do need to build orbitals over here. There's a fair number of those that are going to get built here. So we're going to build a minor orbital here, a minor orbital here. We're going to come around to here and build a major orbital. This will be another minor orbital and a minor orbital here. Coming down this way, a minor orbital. These two asteroid belts are giving us quite a lot. No doubt about that. We're going to come over here next, then here, then here. I actually told it to move here, but I want to build a major orbital there. There's an asteroid here for a minor orbital. We can put in a major orbital here, and then a minor orbital on the moon. And then we can build a major orbital around the sun. We can come out over here and build a major orbital. And then come down to this asteroid and build a minor orbital. That's going to keep this construction ship busy for a while. So that's a good thing, because we don't have the influence for it to do other things, and we know that this one is not going to take very long. So that's fine. This is a habitat central complex here as well. Okay, so the Tesla is finished up, and we can't actually put anyone from our council leading this. So Angeline Lavoie here, and she's going to go up to Rothier and explore the Astral Rift. Awkward path, but, you know, that tends to happen once we have gateways in the mix. That's okay. It's still the fastest path by far. So that's looking good. We're at 140 influence. We are gaining 7 per month. So we are currently, well, we're at 147 now. I think we're 3 months away from being able to get this construction ship working. So that is looking good. New species on Azalash Prime. They're welcome here, but they'll be assimilated. Perfect. So Azalash Prime is definitely working its way up in terms of number of pops. So let's check in over on Azalash. We've got lots of housing here. We could bump this up to an Ascension Tier 2. It's auto-designated right now as a mining world, and that is correct. We do want it to be a mining world. So we'll just mark it as such. And that's absolutely wonderful. We can boost it up to an Ascension Tier 2, and I kind of want to do that. So let's take that up to an Ascension Tier 2. This is just going to get more and more expensive, and that's fine. I was assuming when I laid out the initial plan for this that this was going to be on a world level, but no, this is increasing across the board for all of our worlds. So we're going to have to be more judicious about how we use these Ascension tiers, and that's okay. So we have no jobs available here right now, but we know that we have 5 pops undergoing assimilation right now. So we're going to need 5 jobs here. We should get started on construction on that right now. So a generator district will give us 2. We are currently low on our, well, not super low, but we're lowest on our energy credit production. That looks fine. We can definitely put in a generator district here. Each one of these is going to generate approximately 60. So this will bring us up to 397. And then this will bring us up to be roughly even with our minerals. Let's just max out the number of generator districts here. We can only build 3 additional, and that'll be fine. Then we can start building mining districts, but this is all the jobs we need for the moment. That looks fine. Okay, so we do have idle ships, I think? Maybe. Maybe not. The CAR Sahara is... Oh, wow. I didn't look at this before. This is so many asteroid belts. 4 asteroid belts. Now, some of these only have, like, 1 major asteroid in them, like this one. That's not amazing. There are no planets here. But there's a fair number of asteroids that we can definitely make use of. So let's head out over this direction. Wait a sec. We can't build a habitat central control here. That has to be over the star then, I think? Yes, it has to be over the star. Interesting. There are no planets in this system, so that makes sense. We're just waiting for the month tick here, and we'll be able to build this habitat central complex. There we go. Get going on that. Did it go? It didn't go. Okay, try again. There we go. Autosave seems to have interfered with our orders there. But that's okay. So that seems absolutely fine for right now. All of our civilian ships are currently working, plus 15 orders, plus 2 orders. So the Ganges is going to be done fairly soon. Habitat Central Complex and Habitat Central Complex, and this is going to be Minor Orbital plus 14 orders. So yeah, we're going to need to have additional resources down over here fairly soon. So we're exploring this astral rift. That will be fine. It's fairly regular that astral rifts seem to pop open, so that's definitely interesting. Okay, let's take a look at our jobs here. That is, of course, important to stay on top of. And it looks like our jobs are absolutely fine for the moment. I don't think there are any issues here. Yeah, no unemployment right now. That will change, of course, as we continue to get additional pops. And over on Azalash, these jobs will get filled fairly quickly. First contact with these guys? Okay, sure. So these pops are undergoing assimilation, and once they get assimilated, then that'll be fine. We are going to have a pop growth fairly soon, but this is going to be a total of 6 jobs, so that should be fine. I don't think there's a problem there. And we're still going to be able to, well, this is going to be 13 additional districts here. We would still be able to build 7 industrial districts on Azalash. That's pretty good, to be honest. So we should probably consider continuing to upgrade this Ascension tier. And that would be absolutely wonderful. An orbital has been built. Excellent. We're very, very pleased about that, of course. And our mega structures are going to be done reasonably soon. So that looks fine. Our main limiting factor at this point is absolutely influence. No doubt about that, influence is 1000% our limiting factor. We do have that 0.5 from commercial pacts. For the moment, I think we're going to keep those. And of course, we're in this federation. We could leave this federation and gain 1 additional influence every month. And that's potentially something that's worth doing. Potentially. You are a counselor. Okay. So ship build speed and Voidcraft. Okay. Research speed plus 10% is pretty good, though. We're just going to grab that. That's going to continue to boost us through these last few technologies that we need to get into full repeatable techs. So that sounds good. We have unemployment again. So I'm going to resettle all of these over to Azalash. This world has a lot of territory that it can be working on. So this factory world here, we are basically full on, and we want to do the same thing, sending it over to Azalash. This mining world can definitely get more expansion. And what do we want here? Well, we're tidally locked. We have asteroid belts. We can have a total of 12 districts. So how many do we have available here? This is 11. Okay. I'm going to put in a mining district here. This is really more of a mining world than a generator world. That's fine. So we'll continue with that. What else do we have as far as unemployment? I think there are some. Yeah, we've got this generator world here. This definitely needs to send over to Azalash. Over you go. And Azalash has a fair amount of unemployment right now. That's understood. This is a mining station as of this moment, but it's honestly kind of more of a fortress station. But we're probably better off staying on mining station as our designation because, in my opinion, the fortress station designation doesn't really do very much. Like, we're not planning to have orbital bombardments done to us, and we're not planning on being attacked here. If we're getting invaded on Tuban Prime, we've got other problems. So we want to stay on mining station for that purpose. We could certainly consider building industrial districts here. So if we really wanted to do that, we could take 2 of these building slots and have these be an alloy foundry and a civilian industry. And then build an industrial district, which seems fine. This generator station should absolutely continue to work on its reactor districts. Amenities are a bit on the low side. We should probably consider putting in a holo theater at some point as well. That seems okay. And where's Azalash at? Here's Azalash. So we currently have 5 unemployment here. We have had full assimilation. So this generator district is going to give us 2 jobs. Okay, so this is going to get us 4 total jobs, and this is going to get us 6. That will get all of these people put to work. That sounds good. And now it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that, and next episode, we will continue to build tall here. We're making solid progress on it. What we really need is more influence, because that is absolutely necessary. We have a long ways to go on our constructions. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Atala, Andy Magar, Ali Lee, Dark Horse, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Tommy, Kentogan, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.